Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarva Karishu Sarvadam Ganganapate Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Reva Param Brahma Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Gunatitoksharam Brahma Bhagavan Purushottamah Jano Janandidam Satyam Uchate Bhava Bandhanat Om Bhagavate Shri Swaminarayanaya Namaha Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha Vame Yasya Stita Radha Shri Shayasya Asti Bhakshasi Vrindavana Viharam Tam Shri Krishnam Rudi Chintaye Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Iva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshya Mamrutat Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 4th of November 2024. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagavan, residing in the heart of every being. We are continuing to examine the fundamentals of Vedanta, and I have a slideshow here for you. I've been working on this now, and let me just see if I can pull this up here. So, we want to make sure that the concepts are very clear as to what we are talking about when we are looking at Vivek Chudamani. So first of all, in Advaita Vedanta, the Atman is often described, as identical with Brahman. So the ultimate reality and the source of all knowledge and consciousness. The realization of Atma is the goal of spiritual practice in Advaita Vedanta. It is achieved through meditation and self-inquiry. So let's understand this point clearly. That the ultimate reality, what does that mean? Let's just break that down a bit. We have this reality, Jagrat Avastha mein sab anubhav hai. Reality of Jagrat Avastha is there. We're awake right now, for example. We go to sleep at night, that is Swapna Avastha. And then there's Shushupti Avastha, deep sleep. These are relative realities. Isn't it so? They keep changing. So the word reality, this is a word that is used in philosophy, in Western philosophy. The complementary word would be Sat, S-A-T, Sat in Vedanta. Or we say Satyam, truth. So what is the connection between the word truth and reality? Very similar, but a little bit of a different angle. I can say that I'm holding a cup of coffee in my hand. That is a relative truth. But what is the reality? That is the existence of the cup of coffee. You see the difference between the two? I'm holding a cup of coffee. That is a truth. Sachin is holding and drinking a cup of coffee. That is a relative truth. But the existential truth, or what is called ontological truth, is that there exists a cup, and within the cup there is coffee. That is called the reality. So, what would be the right word for reality? Now, see, the word Sat or Satyam refers to truth, that which is. But see, I think the word Satyam has within it both meanings. It has the meaning of truth and reality, both combined together. Because the way the Vedantic teachers taught that Sat Chit Ananda. So just using the word Sat, they meant, in my interpretation only, maybe others might have some other interpretation, I don't know. But there is the combination of the real, and meaning that which is actual, that which is real, that which is true, that which is existing, so the reality and the truth are the same. So I cannot say that I'm holding this cup, which is a truth, unless there is a cup. I cannot say that. So the reality and the truth are always together. But you see how the Vedantic masters, they use the word Satyam. Ek shabd, it is so amazing how they have used every single word. This is, we're talking about 10, 15,000 years of development of the Sanskrit language, etc. So just the word Satyam, my God, the whole truth is just it says everything. But now Satyam is at different levels. Right now, Sachin is talking, there's a relative reality of the mind, brain, body, etc. Yes. But as we said before, what is the ultimate reality? So this is the quest in Western philosophy, in Western philosophical enterprise, which is absolutely amazing. Tremendous baat hai wo. They have tried to discover the ultimate truth, beyond which there is no other truth, through the process of intellectual inquiry, using the natural resources of the buddhi to try to utilize intelligence and intellectual inquiry through analysis and deeper probing and probing upon probing to arrive at ultimate reality. And they have not been able to do so. Nobody can, actually. In fact, I'm working on a book. This will come out in probably 2 years. I've got so many projects going on. But about the boundaries of philosophy, where the boundary is actually. And it's an amazing, I don't think, they have not written much about this. I wanted to write something about this, and I'm working on that. It'll take me another 2 years to complete that project probably. But there's a boundary. And the Upanishadic rishis knew this long time back. And even I was watching a video just this morning from the president of the Bangalore ISKCON temple. Bangalore में ISKCON का जो मंदिर है, हरे कृष्णा का जो मंदिर है, उनके जो president है, उनका बहुत amazing interview है. It's on YouTube. I just watched it this morning before our satsang here today. And he was talking about his journey, and he exactly said the same thing, that there's a boundary to Western philosophy, because he had studied it for many years. He was a physicist and so many things, and then he realized that there's a boundary. You cannot cross that boundary through the intellect. Our Upanishads said this long time back. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. That the mind, the speech, the language, the thinking cannot reach there. Then what reaches there? What reaches there is aparoksha anubhuti. So I'm going to show you some slides here. This is really cool stuff. We'll have to do some special workshops on this later on, but just for our purposes right now, let me try to pull this up here. Aparoksha anubhuti means that it is the direct realization. Hold on 1 second here. This thing's just a second here. Let's go back to the beginning of this. From the beginning. There we go. So this is aparoksha anubhuti. Aparoksha anubhuti means that it is direct. It is in the present. It is not about the past. It is not about the future. It is not indirect knowledge through the scriptures or through anybody else. So this is a presentation that has over 200 slides actually. But we'll go through this step by step to go into this when we do some retreats and all that. But I just want to just check it out and kind of go into it, just slowly here. So first of all, this dates back to the Upanishads. So Advaita Vedanta has its roots in ancient Upanishads and has been influenced by many philosophers and sages. It is a non-dualistic philosophy that emphasizes the oneness of all things. So 3 big gurus are shown here. Adi Shankaracharya ji, Gauda Padacharya, as I mentioned before, and Raman Maharishi. Look at those 3 very carefully. Adi Shankaracharya ji was an 8th century philosopher and theologian who is widely regarded as the most prominent figure in the development of Advaita Vedanta. No question about that. His work is what we have been studying, Vivek Chudamani. He wrote extensively on the subject and established several monasteries and institutes to promote his philosophy. That's exactly what he did. He saved the Sanatana Dharma by establishing the four mathas. He installed the Nar-Narayan Murti in Badrikashram in the Himalayas. He wrote extensive commentaries. 80% of his literature was all bhakti literature. They're all stotras, and 20% is Advaita Vedanta. So his interpretation is Advaitic. Now you will see Gaudapada was a 7th century guru. So that is Govinda Padacharya's guru, as I mentioned before, and he has written extensive commentary on the Mandukya Upanishad. Right. So this is one of the key points in Advaita. What is the main point in Gauda Padacharya's teaching? That there actually is no relative reality. There is only the absolute reality only, nothing other than that. Very interesting. It is called Ajatavad. So he had this realization that of Brahman, Brahma Satyam, only this vast consciousness. So everything we see, these, like for example, if I'm holding this cup of coffee, or I have a phone in front of me, I have this computer, I have books here, I have so many, carpet is there. I see all this diversity of names and forms. What he will say is that doesn't exist at all. उसका कोई existence ही नहीं है. It is some kind of an illusion. It's an illusion. If it's an illusion, it doesn't have any existence. Like the mrugjal analogy, it doesn't have any existence. There's no water there. The other analogy, let's talk about this a little bit here. I should try to explain this a little bit further. For example, if I say a pot and the clay, well, there's nothing really like a pot. If you go to a jewelry store next time, you see all those jewels, right? What are you seeing? It's nothing but gold. Maybe different carats and all that, but it's fashioned in different forms only. Isn't it so? Earrings, but we don't. We say, I have earring, toe ring, nose ring, I have bracelet, this, that, so many necklaces, and all kinds of things are there. All kinds of things are there. But what is the only reality? It's gold. We cannot say that the earring has gold. We cannot say that. Or it is made, it is possessing the quality of gold. No, we cannot say that. It is only gold. And nothing, if it's 24 karat gold, assuming just like take a block of gold, right? Those blocks of gold, 100 have been taken out of the furnace and there's no other element added inside there. Kuch nahi bhi nahi hai. It's just pure 100% gold. It can be fashioned into anything, necklace, toe rings. I can make a whole, you can make glasses out of gold. Some very wealthy people have spoons and forks out of gold. They have nothing else to do with their money, so they turn that into gold. Everything is made out of gold, like that kind of thing, right? So it's an analogy. It's an analogy that everything that exists, Satya, is only Brahman. और कुछ है ही नहीं, और कुछ था भी नहीं, और कुछ है ही नहीं. There's only the one and the one and the one only that is appearing as the many. So if you go to the jewelry shop, and this is the Advaitic logic, if you go to the jewelry shop, next time you go to the jewelry shop, try to remember this Vedantic teaching. That what am I seeing here? This is only gold. Sab gold hi hai. Right? So why is this of any relevance to anybody in this world? What about the pain and suffering and everything else that is going on in the sansar? How do we reconcile all that? Well, there's a lot of counter arguments against Advaita Vedanta. But the point is that when a person like Gaudapadacharya, for example, and this is only my commentary on this, has Brahmadrishti, has awakened himself to such a stage where he can see only the substratum, nothing else. And when a Maha-Mukta is of that kind, as Shriji Maharaj has mentioned in Vachanamrut, then there is only the one existence that the Mukta sees. And that is, for that individual, there is only the one. That individual is a liberated Maha-Mukta. Nirvikalpa sthiti ke Maha-Mukta hai wo. That's who they are. For all of us, we are not in that Nirvikalpa sthiti. This sounds very interesting and very nice. It seems like, well, what does that mean to me in my life at all? It has meaning in terms of bhakti and samdrishtis. The equanimity of vision. These are the things we can practice. I mean, just trying to sit in dhyan, and there's actually a amusing story that comes to my mind that I heard from Swami Chinmayananji long time back. He explained that one time, a husband and wife, they are interested in some spiritual study and all that. The husband is so intensely absorbed. He tells his wife, I'm going to sit inside the meditation room with the temple for 3 days. And nobody is to disturb me. Don't knock on the door. Don't bring anything. No talking. No think. No, don't even do anything. You don't come inside. He was like, he explained for 1 hour what he's going to do. She was thinking after he goes in there, who's going to come out of that? Maybe God himself is going to come out of that thing. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं. He was all over the place. He could not even sit for one day to do anything. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. हमारी कोई ऐसी स्थिति नहीं है. हम ये सब these very big ideas. ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. सब निर्विकल्प समाधि and all these. For us, what we need to understand from this is to have equanimity of vision. That's good enough. Can we see each being as equal? See, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshina. One of my favorite shlokas from the Gita. All shlokas are favorite. But Bhagavad Gita में भगवान कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं? सम दृष्टि से सबको देखना. Meaning the Atma Tattva. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini. Brahman, you have a Brahmin who is very, evolved and knowledgeable and knows the Vedas, and he has a lot of great qualities. A Brahmin is there in front of you. These people are sitting in front of you. Brahmin is there. Then there's a cow. Then there's an elephant. Brahmane Gavi Hastini. There's a cow. There's an elephant. Shuni Chaiva Shapakecha. There's a dog, and then there's another person who is actually killing the dogs and eating the dogs. This is the shlok in the Gita. This is Gita mein shlok hai. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Cha Eva Shwapakecha. Like, the outcast, the one who has no viveka, eats absolutely anything. But, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Pandit doesn't mean this intellectual thing here, this word. In the Gita, Bhagavan Krishna is saying that one who is awakened inside to see the same Atma Tattvam in all. That is a vision of equanimity. Next time we see an animal, a bird, a tree, next time we see an ant, a frog, colonies of ants, or we see family members, we see our friends, we see people walking in the parks, any living being. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Shaiva Shapakecha Panditaha Samadarshina. See, the word is darshan. See, this word darshan comes again. Samadarshan. How? It's amazing. That is a prerequisite. This verse in the Gita is a foundational prerequisite to open that doorway into Nirvikalpa Sthiti, where Gaudapadacharya is speaking from there. That he lives into the Brahman reveals itself. It's the vast consciousness. Uska koi varnan nahi kar sakta. So that is the revelation. But that revelation is possible for a Maha-Mukta, as per Vachanamrut. Maharaj कहते हैं इसको Maha-Mukta कहते हैं. हम सबके जीवन में क्या है? We are trying to realize these things, but we have to get to that point of samdrishti. Samdrishti. इसमें राग द्वेष किसी के साथ नहीं रहता. कभी भी नहीं. The same Atma Tattva is taken in different bodies. And if you are interested in Advaitic realization, then Advaitic Dhyan is that the one is only playing as the many. This is the basic idea. The Brahman is only there. So that kind of liberated vision, because otherwise the world continues as it is. It is a play. You go into the jewelry shop, but if you don't know that there's gold, then we have ignorance. We don't understand what is there. Like, for example, if you take a 3-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid, he'd rather go into the candy shop and have some chocolates and all. He doesn't care about. He said, take this gold and throw it away. I need something I can put in my mouth, lollipop. You give him a $1 million diamond or $1 million bracelet. He says, "Ye sab bakwas kya hai? Throw it away." He doesn't know. Iska mahima hi nahi hai kuch. That's what it is. It is like that. The Jivatma that is stuck inside Maya is running after the Panchvishas, has not realized the Brahmic Ananda, the divine. See, that's why the Rishi said Sat Chit Ananda. That is the point, that the reality, the Brahman is described in these 3 ways. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma. That is one way. And there's many ways, but it is Ananta. They have to describe somehow in the relative world. How do you get that 2 or 3-year-old to understand what is the power and glory of a $1 million bracelet, gold bracelet? How he's going to take him 10, 12 years to even get some understanding of what that is. It doesn't happen like that. In no way. So similarly for us, as we continue Vedantic study, as we continue Vichar and inquiry and bhakti and all these sadhanas, eventually we will grow up from inside so that we'll be ready to understand कि महिमा क्या है, इसका what is Vivek Chudamani, कौन शंकराचार्य जी हो गए, उनकी परंपरा क्या है, what is the Sanatan Dharma, and then it sparks, oh my God, this is what it is. Right now we are we're still this 5, 6, we started the path. But when we grow up, that is when the ripening of the jnanam occurs. That's why we have to do satsanga every day. That is why all teachers and all sampradayas, all gurus, there's a continuous flow of satsang. And why is that necessary? That allows us to mature so that we can recognize ourselves, we can recognize the glory of God, we can recognize the Ishvaras, we can recognize Bhagavan, all these amazing things that are there, we can recognize when the time comes. That 2-year-old or 3-year-old, you give that 2-year-old a $1 million bracelet, golden bracelet, put it on the hand. Sometimes you do that with the young kids, right? There's very rich people, they might have that kind of money, so they put these diamonds in all the children. Child has no knowledge of anything. He doesn't know what it is. Born in a platinum spoon. He's not concerned about the platinum spoon. He's concerned about the milk and chocolate and the foods and immediate sensory gratification, like that. But time comes when the child grows up, and then that there's a point that comes. You can realize what it is. That shift of realization, that is called aparoksha anubhuti. See the analogy. And with that, let's stop here for now. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Bandusha Sakha Tameva Vidya Dravinam Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Divilingaya Namaha Urdhvalingaya Namaha Anandalingaya Namaha Dwadash Jyotirlingaya Namaha Chandraya Namaha Suryaya Namaha Nakshatra Vigramate Namaha Om Brahmacharine Namaha Om Kalakantakatāya Namaha Om Sarvajivahitavahaya Namo Namaha Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundayai Viche Swaha Om Shri Durgarpanamastu Swaha Om Rim Swaha Om Shri Radha Krishnarpanamastu.